In this video, I am going to show you the tools that are available to your child within the CAASPP Math test. So I am currently logged into a 6th grade math practice test. If you watched my universal tools for the language arts practice test already, you'll see that some of them are very similar. Over here again in that hamburger menu, the first one is an item tutorial. It's much more helpful in math because in math, they're going to ask you all different ways to input your answer, and some of them are not obvious. So in this case, they're asking for an equation. If you've never used a calculator like this, you might not know how to input a fraction or an exponent or so forth. So that's where the tutorial comes in handy. It does show them how to do the fraction, the parentheses, the exponents, etc. Okay, so that is in item tutorials. Once again, they cannot move on without answering that question. So if they don't know it and they just want to guess, and they can mark it for review, that flag comes up. If at any time during the test, they can go to this question drop down and it shows them all the questions they have answered so far and the ones that they have marked for review. This will also show up at the end of the test. So they have one more chance or one last chance to review all their answers or go back and look at the ones they marked. Okay. Also in this drop down, there is a notepad. It's available. I recommend they use scratch paper though, because scratch paper is allowed. And for the older kids, you should even have graph paper available for them. Of course, it should be blank. This notepad though, if they do end up using it, just remember it deletes if they pause their test for more than 20 minutes. There is also a highlighter. I'm going to go to another question to show you that though. Like for example, this question, it says select all the statements. You might want to highlight some of the key components of that question. For example, it's select all. So don't just think you found one and move on. And you want to find the ones that are true. You know, sometimes they trick you and they want the ones that are false and so forth. So your child might want to use the highlighter to highlight those key parts of the question so they don't lose track of what they're actually finding the answer for. The other thing I wanted to show you is this one has multiple answers here. So there is the strike through. If they know that this one is not the answer, they can strike through that. And then they have the two that are left. If they struck the wrong one, they can click strike through again here, click it again here, and it is no longer, has a strike through it. And I always recommend they do that if there is a multiple choice question, because if you say, oh, I don't know the answer, and you just randomly select one, if there are 4 choices, then you have 25% chance of getting it right. However, if you're able to rule out 2 of them, then now you have 50% chance of getting it right. So I definitely recommend they use that strike through. I want to show you question number 10. There is nothing here. However, once we go to question 11, you'll see a calculator pops up. They can use a calculator, and we encourage them to use a calculator whenever they see this calculator icon. They just click on it and a calculator does pop up for them to use. So even if they have calculator in their IEP as an accommodation, they can only use that physical calculator on questions that have this calculator icon. And then finally, I wanted to show you this website. If you Google Smarter Balance Calculators, it shows you the 3 types of calculators for the different grades. And the kids can go on, let's say this is a graphing calculator for high school. If they don't know how to use one, they can come on here and practice. I'm not even sure how to use one. So, okay, well, my 5 minutes are up. That's all I wanted to show you for math. I'll see you in another video. Bye.